Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about a connection. It feels like somebody that you met through another person or because you were in the same space. Just like not having the ability to be honest and demonstrating in multiple occasions that they were comfortable lying or pretending in some way. So I feel like a sense of frustration with somebody for not being authentic or not being genuine is the energy that's coming through. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time or a lot. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Let's see what else we have. We're going to go with the Earth and Bone Oracle. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. You can kind of smell spring in the air down here in Tennessee, so I'm hoping we have some nicer weather coming up. We even had a little bit of snow the other night when I was driving home. All right. We have number 11, which is the Wayfarer. Contemplation, search for truth, inner guidance, and introspection. And number 28, flight, opportunity, prosperity, new venture, don't wait. So I feel like there's acceptance here that maybe a situation isn't really right for someone. Hi there, Sid. How are you doing? Happy Monday. Hello, Tiana. Yeah, so we've got, I think, somebody realizing that it's time to move on from a situation or a group or a friendship or a relationship. We're going to get a few from the situations deck. We have triggers. We had, I think, these two cards maybe 3 days ago. This looks to me like somebody is getting rid of a drama queen, realizing that they are done with a group of people that cause chaos, and they're moving towards somebody they have something they need to confess to. But there's something here that kind of like pushed them. Maybe I'll get a couple more. Something that pushed them, maybe music, maybe pictures, maybe constantly seeing somebody's car because it is actually a car. There's something here that was a little bit like relentless in terms of making somebody realize, okay, this isn't for me and I should probably be over there. So we have children involved. We have young, childhood, playful. For some of you, this could just be talking about the connection being playful, but for the majority of you, I see this implying that there are children involved. Either you're talking about having a child, you are already pregnant, or you're talking about getting back together and one or both of you has children. Okay. Yeah, it's probably tied to the story that I've been reading on recently. We have a time sensitive opportunity for somebody. That could be why there's such a, it feels kind of like impulsive departure from this group of people. I don't know how else to say it, but I do feel like this is playful in terms of wanting to be physical or sexual with somebody, but this obsession, it's like they kind of want to make it about the sex, but it's not about the sex. This feels like somebody who doesn't really feel super comfortable with the concept of love or being in love, or like, what does that look like? What's a healthy relationship supposed to be? I feel like this person is trying to like put a lot on the sex when it's really, they feel like a really strong connection. We're gonna go with the Egyptian tarot. Eight of Swords in the reverse. Six of Swords. Someone feels free. Now I don't have to worry about who's watching me. I don't have to worry about who's judging the choices that I make. For some of you, this is leaving a family. There might actually be some travel here. I'm real focused on this boat. They are leaving a place where they felt trapped and pursuing something that, I mean, I was going to say that turns them on, but I think it's more than that. There's been a rejection here in the past, or a distancing. Somebody was made to feel like they weren't good enough, or they weren't really what this person wanted. And it's coming across as really just because they didn't know what to do with it. The image in my mind is like if someone were to like walk up to me and just like toss a hot potato into my hands, and I'd be like, oh, I didn't know what to do with that. Like toss it around a few times and then like throw it because it's hot, right? This person didn't know what to do with this connection. They were uncomfortable. So the thing that came most easily for them was kind of like a repeat of behavior they've used with others in the past, which looks a lot like mind games or rejection. Seven of Wands in the reverse. Nine of Swords. The Seven of Wands in the reverse makes me feel like somebody got defensive. I think it was this person who's uncomfortable with love. Maybe they picked a fight. Maybe they were overly cautious, trying to make this other person seem like they had, you know, done something to make them want some distance, right? Like, oh, you're doing too much. It's just kind of, yeah, I can't. This isn't for me. It's kind of like what I'm hearing. Five of Swords, Nine of Cups in the reverse. So somebody sabotaged something they really did want and tried to convince themselves, nah, this is like, so there was a shift in my shopping tendencies. Okay. I used to go shopping and it would be like, I want this, I want this, I want this. This will look great too. And then I wouldn't wear all of them. Like I wouldn't really like how they looked, or, you know, the color was wrong, whatever it was. And I started to realize how silly I was being. And so I started to get like a lot more prescribed or like picky, right? I'm not going to buy like five things at once anymore. I'm going to make sure I really like something. And then if I really like something, I might buy like that three different colors, right? But it also ended up getting to the point where I cut back so much on the shopping. It was almost like a sense of pride to like walk out of a store without having bought anything, and being like overly picky I went like probably a year and a half to 2 years without buying like any clothes. Which if you've known me, it's kind of impressive because I love clothes. But what I'm taking from that is somebody adjusted the needle like too far, right? Like the scale, the pendulum, whatever you want to say, it went too far. Okay. So this person was like, nope, I can't see you, can't love you, can't hear you. They blocked out the person that they were thinking about because they didn't want to think about them. So the signals that this person, we'll refer to them as the King of Wands because we now have the King of Wands. The signals that this King of Wands put out there, well, I guess we did also have the King of Swords in the reverse. The signals communicated a preference for distance, and distance is what they got. You know? The person they were dealing with was like, okay, message received. You don't want to hang out with me. Then I'm not going to hang out with you. Hello there, Paul. How are you doing? You're not late. Yeah, so this person walked away. And then it's like, Miss King of Wands is like, wait, no, you weren't supposed to walk away. You were just supposed to like slow down a little bit or, only be there when I wanted to see you. It doesn't work that way, does it? At least it shouldn't. So this King of Wands is left wanting more, right? It's almost as if their actions backfired spectacularly and that what they wanted to happen to the other person, desired a sense of wanting more, is now what happened to them. And the person they're dealing with is coming out as the Strength card. Hi there, Natalie. How are you? Hello, Peggy. And having turned their back to the situation while this King of Wands is dealing with some loneliness. It's why I always say it's important to feel comfortable or happy by yourself. If you're the kind of person that needs to be around other people in order to not have to think about thoughts or process trauma or do your healing or have your own hobbies, like, hey, do you have your own hobbies? Because you should. That's what makes things like this a lot easier to get through. I feel like we do have somebody here that this King of Wands has been dealing with that has an appreciation for solitude or introspection or healing. Like this is not a bother for them. They already get it. Because what are they doing? They're taming a fucking lion, like no big deal. Yeah, this person has patience. This person also has a subtle power. I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have looked at this individual and assumed they were easy prey, assumed that, somebody could outsmart them. They are not one to be messed with. Like I think we can go with a wolf in sheep's clothing, but like with not the negative connotation. Like people think it's a sheep, but they'll tear you up. Like underestimated is definitely something that I feel like this strength individual has been, right? I'm indecisive, which is unusual. I think we're going to go with the original Edgar Allan Poe. Two now, you guys. Really, really hard for me not to use the Poe Tarot every single time. It's not always the right mood, We have the Knight of Cups. I should have put socks on. My toes are so cold. All right. Knight of Cups, Ten of Wands in the reverse, and the Empress. And I gotta tell you, this is like not my favorite Empress. Y'all, this is like, I mean, look at it. She's a little spooky, right? I am getting not very nice mother energy. So this could be a family situation that this person had to leave behind, but somebody was feeling burdened or overwhelmed with a sense that they had to choose between a love that they cannot ignore and a family member or a friend. This feels like a burdensome relationship. Somebody who expects a lot from this King of Wands. Hi there, Angel Light. How are you doing? So it's not like a positive connection, right? This is, I think, somebody that has a temper, somebody that has spoken out in anger against this King of Wands when the King of Wands didn't really do anything. So there's a temper problem or anger management or addiction issues coming from this Empress, which I don't normally get from the Empress. Just don't really like this one. But it's also clarifying our Eight of Cups. So I feel like this is the person who really might have inspired the distance between the King of Wands and their love interest. So we have the Lovers, Four of Swords, and the Hermit in the reverse. Suffering in separation is something that had to happen for this King of Wands to understand the nature of the connection or the pull that he has or she has or they have towards this other love interest. In solitude, they were able to understand the error of their ways or that they have been operating under it's like a wrong assumption about life or a wrong perspective, a flawed approach to life. It could be from this Empress. They learned that, but somebody's learning a lesson like that they have to shift or change in some way in terms of how they live. Nine of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Swords in the reverse. There's some assistance here trying to help this King of Wands have like one last shot. This feels like it's hanging on by a thread. I feel like the outlines of the fields in the background is what makes me feel that this is tenuous, but we also had the TikTok deadline time is running out card. And this Knight of Pentacles, this is about somebody who takes their time. This is giving like you're ready to leave on a road trip and this MFer's out here taking selfies like, oh, we're about to leave. And you're like, we were supposed to leave an hour ago. Could you get in the car? Yeah. Somebody's taking too long. There's impatience, right? Like it should get off the pot. But this Knight of Swords in the reverse makes me feel like there is something that addresses what has caused anxiety here. It comes across to me as distance from this family connection or this Empress energy enables this King of Wands to have a clearer head or an ability to focus on what they really want to do. It's like being proactive is all of a sudden much more comfortable for them. So there could be this Empress is not a good energy. It's making me think of how in some like physical locations, you could feel your mood not doing so great or feel tired all of a sudden. When this person is no longer around this Empress or spends less time around this Empress, things become clearer. They become more comfortable with themselves or acting the way that they are meant to act instead of feeling pressure to be like this person. So I feel like we have somebody who's trying to like re-identify who they are without it being defined by this Empress. For some of you, this is a former partner, possible baby mama, baby daddy, whatever. For others of you, this is a parent or a sibling, but we're up against being controlled by another person. So this King of Wands has to, it's like they have to cast off chains. They have to get rid of somebody that has tried to make them responsible for their burdens or for their happiness. Page of Pentacles. There's something this King of Wands has learned from this love interest. It could be a form of communication or the importance of being honest. I just saw like a clip in my head from The Real World. And I feel like at the beginning of that show, they said something like, where people start being real, right? Something along those lines, whatever that intro is. It's like this person's finally realizing that they've been dealing with somebody who's really just putting on a show for other people. That is not real. And that they want to actually be real. They don't want to live their life based on what other people are expecting because it makes them feel like they've missed out or they've mistreated other people. So this person's realizing they have their own moral compass and it is better than somebody else's. That they need to be making their own decisions, basically. This is the untold messages of the heart. Something or someone is standing between us right now. It does say mountain on it. That's that Empress. Taken. I'm unavailable. Walls. I feel like I can't get through to you. Please let me in. I feel like this is this energy. I feel like this is the person being desired, and this energy around it is the King of Wands. Something is in between us, and I can't get through to you. And this person's like, sorry, can't talk. So we might have a block in place. We might have somebody who is entertaining other options in love. We might have somebody who is quite literally in a relationship. I don't feel like that's a lot of you. I feel like a lot of, like the majority of the people, this I'm unavailable is either I'm busy or I'm like not available for you because you have not shown me respect. So this is like boundaries, access. Somebody's being denied because they didn't really appreciate the access they had originally. So for some of you, that would be like maybe a pattern of being really quick to respond to messages or DMs. You notice now they'll take like an hour or two, they'll take a day, they'll take 2 days. There's a change in behavior. Six of Swords, the World in the reverse, King of Cups in the reverse. So this is talking about obsession. Remember we had the obsession card come out. I think this person's having dreams or daydreams, little fantasies, thinking about kissing or how you smell. There's little details that are pulling this person in the direction they would need to go to talk to you, but they're struggling with like overthinking or over strategizing. It's giving like, I kind of need to pull myself back a little bit to make sure that I'm not like losing my mind. What is that? Hello. I'm going to call you Kia because I don't know what that says. We have somebody that has failed completely to not fall in love with somebody and has now like kind of wandered into the territory of obsessively in love. Sorry. Totally missed that mark, didn't you? In part because this person has started to want things they didn't previously want. And in part because the person they're dealing with has navigated very intelligently through the games that this King of Wands likes to play. So now it's like this King of Wands is realizing this is serious. I can't control this. These are feelings that are going to be here for a while. If you can't beat them, join them. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Like, I think I'll just get comfortable or cozy with the idea that I'm actually like totally in love with this person. I could potentially have a new beginning, but they're making a decision right now. This High Priestess is our love interest. So there's something mysterious or secretive, very like different about this person. So if this King of Wands has had, you know, a couple of relationships or dalliances with people, they maybe saw kind of a pattern in terms of how people respond in romantic or sexual situations that this High Priestess does not fit, right? There's something, it's a different kind of puzzle. Empress in the reverse. So somebody is leaving this Empress in the reverse behind. Makes sense to see her come out as the reverse. I do feel like there's a bit of a mask here where people believe for some reason that this is a positive thing for this King of Wands, but this is an illusion. This person does not have good intentions. With the Four of Wands in the reverse, they really only serve to destabilize things for this king. We do have King of Swords and King of Cups in the reverse. And then we also have King of Wands and King of Pentacles in the upright. So this is somebody who's in transition, working towards becoming the divine masculine. But they had to figure out what unconditional love is and give into it because they've been resisting it. So we had the Three of Pentacles at the very beginning of our reading, and here it is almost at the very end. If this King of Wands decides to move towards their love interest, things improve in their life. That doesn't necessarily mean you get to have the happy ending with your High Priestess because everyone has free will. It's going to depend on if you come correct, right? Are you going to be honest? Are you going to give in or like enjoy or relish this love, or are you going to run away from it? If they listen to their intuition, if they listen to, dream songs, whatever it is that's trying to guide them at this time, and they pursue what they actually want, then things turn around for them. If they ignore, well, let's not. We'll see what the Kipper has to say. If they ignore, what happens? Because I have a feeling it's just more of the same, right? If they ignore those feelings, we have family room and marriage in the reverse. Tell me this is not like super effing clear. You can hang with that family that you don't feel like you belong with or that doesn't treat you well and has negative intentions, but then you don't get this love. It's very Romeo and Juliet, like you have to choose between your love or your family. Ugh. Yeah, so there's a choice here. Do you want to choose the more enlightened path and challenge yourself a little bit and go for the person who makes you feel alive or teaches you new things? Or are you going to accept more of the same with the people that you feel lie to you or make you miss opportunities? So I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you, everyone, for the likes and the subscribes. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you on the next reading. Bye.